Hi everyone, it's Steph. So tonight I'm going to share with you how to put together my latest to go, which is this Christmas chair. I'm just going to give it a minute and make sure everything is streaming properly. And then we will get started. All right. Okay. Hey, Teresa. Good. I'm glad you're there. I've had to restart like 5 times because the Wi-Fi has been screwy. Seems to be my theme anytime I try to do anything. All right, so let's get started. Tonight I'm super excited to show you how to put this kit together. I had a lot of fun making it. I love these little, the mini Curvy keepsake boxes here. They're so cute. Okay, so tonight we're going to make one of each of these, and then we're going to do the 2 cards here. So I'm going to start with this one. And just get my directions for you guys. Okay. So you will need a piece of cardstock that measures 5.5 by 8.5, and then we're going to score that at 4.25. Now for these to-go cards, I mixed up some of the old stuff with the new stuff. So this is Designer Series paper from a paper stack, probably going a couple years back, if not longer, called Trim the Tree. It was one of those ones that I really liked, so I hung on to it, and you know, as I'm going through using things that I have on hand, you know, I often wonder to myself, why do I save so much stuff? But I don't know, it's pretty, so I have hard times letting go. Okay, so for this one, you will then need another piece of paper that's 4 and 5.25. So I'm using this one right here. It's garden green with, I think this was smoky slate, little stars on it, and then this was the reverse side. So you could use either or. We'll have the inside of the card, which is 4 by 5.25, and I just used Whisper White. You'll need an envelope, and then you will need a 2-inch circle, again Whisper White. This was a piece of scrap, so that's about a 1/2 inch, I think 5.25, and that will be for my inside decoration. And then you need 2 pieces of Designer Series paper that measures 1 1/8 by 3 1/8. You'll need another piece of designer paper that is 1 by 4, and this one is Early Espresso with these little trees in them. And then you'll need some cardstock that's 1 1/4 by 3 1/4, and I said smoky slate. I'm going to correct myself. It's actually Sahara sand that I'm using. Okay. Now for this one, I didn't give you paper in the kit for your envelope. I actually stamped my envelopes for this one because I've been doing the paper for a while, and in this particular paper stack, the paper isn't quite long enough to do the flap of the envelope. So I just decided I'm going to stamp the envelope just so you can see, you know, both styles. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to start with my stamping, and I have to say I actually thought this stamp set was current because the Christmas Countdown kit with the little drawers counting down to Christmas is available in our mini catalog, and I did not double check to actually see if the stamp set was current. So I will double check that and leave a comment for you guys. But this is the stamp set that I'm using. I'm going to use this background stamp here and the cardinal. And then I'm just going to use our teeny tiny Christmas, or excuse me, teeny tiny itty bitty Christmas stamp set for the happy holidays. Now again, if you do not send out Christmas cards, but know a lot of people that have birthdays or anniversaries or special events going on in the month of December, you could just change up your greeting, you know, and rather than using a Christmas card, then you have a card for any other greeting you have going on. All right, so put this here and this one here. Oops, sorry for the reach over. And this is the Itty Bitty Christmas. And so this is a current set that is in our annual catalog. And you can see all the different greetings in here. And I just went with Happy Holidays. I just thought it looked the best with kind of the bird. The Christmas cardinal over here, I'm calling it. Okay. So starting with Sahara Sand, I'm going to stamp on my little circle here, and all I did was just kind of offset my stamp just like that. And then you know what, since I have my ink out, I'm going to do the envelope. Hey Tammy. All right, so on my envelope, I stamped here, and I'm just pushing down hard because of the crease of the envelope or the flap there. Sometimes if you do it too lightly, it doesn't stamp. And then I just did the front corner like that. And that one, and then I'm done with this ink. I don't know, I might have zoomed in too close because I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I'm off camera. Oops, my bad. So I chose the worst day of the week, I think, to finish my Christmas lights. I was soaked 3 times, if not more today, only to learn that half of what I put out kept shorting out because of the rain. So I had to go back outside and unplug everything. I don't know, I'll deal with it another day, right? All right, so the cardinal branch thing I'm stamping here in Cherry Cobbler, just like that. And then a little bit on the front of the envelope and here on the back, just like that. And then the last thing I want to do is stamp my greeting, the Happy Holidays. And you can use basic black or any other brown ink that you have with Stampin' Up. I'm using Early Espresso. And I'm just stamping this one right under the bird, just like that. And on this example, I went a little bit higher with the bird, so my greeting isn't on the berries, but that's fine. And now we're going to make our bird a solid color. So to do that, we're going to use the Stampin' Blends. And I'm using the dark pumpkin pie for the beak here. And then I'm going to take the light Cherry Cobbler and just lightly go in. Now, this is light enough so you can still see the feathers in the background. So you could leave it that way, but the nice thing about the blends is you can have some shading going on. So I'm just going to go back in with the dark shading and just kind of grab some of those darker areas so the bird stands out just a little bit. And it's so fun to color with these because you don't have to be, ooh, have to be neat. And then I'm just going to take my black marker here and do the eye. All right, and so that's all the stamping for this card. Easy peasy. So now we're just going to assemble. And I'm going to start with my background paper. I'll zoom you out a little bit. Whoop. All right, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to take this strip, right about there. And to do these, I'm going to adhere them to the cardstock first. So I have another funny story. It's kind of embarrassing looking at my hands. They're all marked up. One of the kittens decided the other day to try to jump up here on my workstation. And because there was stuff all over my desk because I was working on a customer's order, she slid, and when I went to grab her, she literally gouged, like, my hands. They actually hurt every time I wash my hands. It's like a throbbing, stinging pain. Almost like I have a paper cut that I keep pouring lemon juice in. That's what it feels like. Aren't you glad you logged in to listen to me? Okay. I don't know why my adhesive is not cooperating, but hey, you know, if everything worked normally, I would probably be extremely surprised. Okay. So this one I'm just going to stick here. And then this one just about here, leaving a little bit of a space in between. I'm going to add our dimensionals to the back of the cardinal. Oops, you can see I used the reverse side of a paper I messed up on. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nobody sees it, right? Waste not, want not. And he will go just about there. I'm going to do the inside of my card. And for that, I'm just taking this little extra strip. Okay, I'm ready to throw this thing out the window. There we go. And that's going to go right there. You know, I have these mats underneath, and all I do is move them around. I spend more time sometimes fixing them. All right, so that's the inside. And the last thing that I need to do is my bow and add my little pearl embellishments. So for this, I'm using this gold twine. And this was actually a leftover piece from my paper pumpkin kit. I don't know which one exactly, but there was a lot left over, and it was perfect for this project. So now I'm just going to add some glue dots right about here. Stick my bow on. Give it a good trim. And then we'll do our little pearls. And to do those, I just took some basic pearls that I had on hand, and then using the Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Blends, I just colored over it to get the color I wanted. If you don't have the blends, any alcohol-based markers will work perfectly. Water-based will not. They will smudge off. It won't dry right. But if you have an alcohol-based marker like a Sharpie, they work great, and Sharpies dry really quickly when you color on something like this. So, and it really, you know, maximizes the way to use these pearls, because I don't have the money to go out and buy them in 50 different colors, but using my markers, I can make them any color I want to work on any project that I want. So, just a little tip. And one here, and one little more. I'm going to stick one up here, just like that. All right, so that is the first project. Super easy card. And then we did the envelopes earlier, so then you have your coordinating envelopes. All right, the second card we're doing, oh, there's a kitten down here. I could get mauled in a minute. Hopefully she doesn't jump up. It's becoming a lot of fun crafting with the cats, let me tell you. When we first got them, they weren't allowed in my basement because it was a disaster down here. I'm just cleaning my stamps really quick because I need my blocks. But now that they come down here, it's like their personal playground. But when I'm down here, all they want to do is jump all over it. Which is fine. I've had cats before, so I know the minute you sit down to work, they lay across what you're doing. Right? All right. Almost done. And you don't have to hear my voice. Well, you do, because I have to explain. Okay. All right. So this is the Christmas cheer card. I just love this little snowman season. I think I called him Spirited Snowman because that was an old set that retired. And it's just a force of habit to say Spirited Snowman. But it's snowman season. And this actually has a punch that coordinates with it. And it will punch out this snowman right here. When this set went live last winter, there was felt snowman pieces, so you could do like a hat and a scarf and all that stuff. But it's fun just using the stamp and the little hat. And, you know, super easy. And if you wanted to cut it out, it's not that hard to cut out the little hat either. So we're using the snowman and the little top hat. I'm going to use one arm. And then the Christmas cheer from the Itty Bitty Christmas. Okay. I should tell you what you need, right? Okay. So for this one, you need the cardstock. That's 5.5 by 4.5. 5.5 by 8.5. Score it at 4.5. And this one I used garden green. Then we have a inside piece that's 4 by 5.25. Our layer of cherry cobbler that's also 4 and 5.25. Then we have 2 pieces of designer paper, and both of those measure 1 7/8 by 5. I have another piece of designer series paper for the inside. I have 2 layers here. I believe the designer paper is 3/4 of an inch by 4 in length, and then the cardstock here is 1 inch by 4 inches in length. You'll need some ribbon or twine to make a bow, some rhinestones, and then you'll need your envelope. Okay, I also used some ovals, so I believe this one measures about 3.25, and then this one's 3.5, or give or take. but it's a good size to stamp the snowman in. And if you don't have ovals, you could use circles, you could cut a square. All right, so I'm going to stamp my snowman in black right here in the middle. Then I'm going to add his little hat. I'm going to tip it this time. I use the early espresso for his branches, or whatever they're called, arms. Just like that. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to stamp my Christmas chair using the cherry. And for the greeting, I'm going to use my tried and true. It's a word called the word window punch. It's actually a retired punch. I know I really shouldn't show you retired stuff, but it's one of those punches that I use all the time. It's the perfect punch for the majority of our greetings. There are newer versions or newer styles to this in the current catalog, but I don't know, I just like that one, so I just can't bring myself to replace it. Usually I run out and retire and try to sell off all the old stuff, but there's some things I hang on to, you know. Okay, so we're going to color him rather quickly. So I used pumpkin pie on the nose, some cherry cobbler here on the berries, old olive for his leaves, do not jump up here, don't you dare. And then this one is called shaded spruce. No, you can't come up here for the stripe on the hat. All right, so now I'm going to stick my snowman onto this oval. Oops, again, a scrap piece of paper here. Oops. Come on, background. All right. I don't, you know, sometimes this thing, you know, I found when I don't have all these mats underneath me in this background, this paper here, this thing seems to work much better on a harder surface, if that makes sense. I don't know. Or it's just because I'm on camera here. So now I'm just going to add these two strips onto my cherry cobbler paper. And I'm just leaving a slight edge in between, just like that. I'm going to add, oops. This is going to go right across edge to edge. Now remember, the paper is all double-sided, so you know, if I gave you a side that you're not crazy about, flip it over. That's the fun of double-sided paper. And this one goes right here in the middle. Okay, and now I'm ready to stick this on my card base. Just like that. I'm going to add a couple dimensionals on the back of my snowman. Thank God we didn't lose power. I feel like every storm lately, no power. I don't even know what it's doing outside. Sitting in my basement, I don't hear anything. Kind of like the day the tree fell over in my backyard and took up the whole backyard. I had no clue there was a tree down. So now I'm gonna stick my snowman just about there. And I'm going to add, so I'm going to cut the edges of my dimensionals here to fit the edge of this. Remember, those are sticky, so don't get rid of them. That's going to go there. Glue dot here. So I already pre-tied my little bow here. And this is a thick baker's twine. And so I'll do the inside really quick. I'm going to use the striped. Oh, I got to stamp my envelope. Just like that. Oop. And this goes inside. Now, I don't usually stamp greetings on the insides until I'm ready to give the cards away, depending on what I'm making them or who I'm making them for. So what I did on the envelope is so I'm not going to do that because I showed you how to stamp the first one. So we have the snowman here. I just stamped him in the black in the front corner. And then I did a whole snowman in the back. And you certainly could color these in. One suggestion I would make is just to be careful when you do color that you don't go through, because the envelopes are thinner than the regular cardstock. So that's why I just left him in the black. Cute enough though. You could use like colored pencils or something like that. And now I'm going to add my rhinestones. And these were just some rhinestones I had on hand. So I'm using all the same size. And I'm just plopping them down wherever I think they should go. And I have to do odd numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. As I'm sharing some of my OCD crafting. So then that's that card. And now on to the fun part. These little mini Curvy keepsake boxes. There is no adhesive involved other than decorating them. They are on the smaller side, but you can fill them with some folded money, do we give change to kids anymore? I don't know, probably not. Nobody wants change. But you can add some candy. It's a cute little jewelry box. Add a little folded up note. So I'm not going to lie, I actually was searching Pinterest for ideas on holiday versions of these. And these are the two that I came across. And I just kind of judged them a little bit from the picture that I saw. But nonetheless, you know, Pinterest is a wonderful place to find ideas. And so many people share, you know, stuff that they've made, which is awesome. Because sometimes I can't think enough or the thought it's just not working, so it's nice to know that I can search somewhere and find it. Okay, so this is using the mini Curvy keepsake box, and this is a die set that is available in the current catalog. And this is what it looks like. So this piece right here is what's going to cut out that box shape. So what's nice is if you have a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, if you cut that in half at 5.5, you can get 2 boxes out of 1 sheet of paper. And then it includes all these little tag pieces for layering the tops of the box. And then I've seen some fun things where they've made these into like reindeer antlers for, you know, making this look like a reindeer. And then others during Halloween, they use these like spooky hands. It was cute. So the options are endless if you're creative. Okay, so what I did is cut these 2 belt pieces, and that's what they are, belt pieces. They're much longer, but I've already used them for the first project here, and then this is what's left over. So you can get to use one of these strips, you can make 2 boxes with them. So I had cut 2 strips, if that makes sense. And then this belt buckle is, where the heck's my belt buckle? Right here. And my little buttons are right here. And those are cut out from the All Dressed Up die, which is also a current die set in our annual catalog. It's super, super cute. If you don't have this, all right, stuff, open it up right. So like little high heel shoe, a lipstick. So this is the piece right here that I cut out for my little belt part. This big die piece, actually, when you cut out 2 pieces of it, it makes a little pocketbook. And people do like handbags with it or backpacks. It's really, really cute. And then these are the belt buckles. And then you get 2 different size buttons and then other pieces that go with the stamp set. All right. Stop showing you the stuff and we'll get to making. Okay, so there is a little trick to assembling this. It already has score lines on it, so you're going to want to fold on those score lines first, okay? And then you're going to take a bone folder. You could use a flat edge of a ruler if it's easy for you to manipulate. I wouldn't really say use a straight edge of a scissor because I don't know if that would cut the paper. But what I'm doing is coming underneath, putting my thumb over, starting from the score line, I'm just curling. So I'm creating a curved edge to that. And then I'm going to do it on all 4 sides here, just like that. And to put this together, you just take these 2 pieces here that have the handle opening, and then you'll see on these pieces it has a slot. So you just slide one over like that, and then slide this one over like this. And then that's basically how it gets put together. All right. So what I did to actually make this, I'm gonna pop one side off. I find it easier to work when it's opened. But I'm gonna do the little elf one first. I'm going to add adhesive to the back of this black strip. For the elf, I used a copper glitter paper. And I'm just gonna feed my little belt buckle through. Just like that. Okay. And just kind of line it up, and then I turned it over, and then I trimmed any of the excess off, just like this. And then that's the little belt buckle. Like that. Now to do the neckline, I don't really know, the collar, I guess, of what would be like an elf shirt, I punched out this star from an old die set that I had, and all I did was snip the points off like this so that I have 5 points. You know, maybe there's another way to do that, but that's what I found that worked for me. And I'm going to use some glue dots. And I stick, this is how I use my dots. I line up everything first. Especially when they're small pieces, I stick them, and then I don't lose them. Just like that. And then I just start placing them around the collar here. And don't worry if it hangs off the edge, we'll trim that. And last one, just like that. It's a little off, but there we go. And then just trim off whatever overhangs. You could leave it too if you prefer that look. And now I'm going to take my gold, I'm just going to call them gold pearls, and place one on the tip of each triangle, just like this. Come on. They're small, so they like to get away from me. And last one, right there. Yeah, he's a little crooked. Okay, I can fix that later. All right, and then what I did was I pre-stamped the greetings, and again I'm using the itty bitty greeting, and then for this particular one I cut this one out with the star die that is within that mini Curvy keepsake set, and I tied it on with this tinsel, gold tinsel ribbon that I had. And I'll just tie a quick bow. Now I would recommend filling it before you do this part, whatever you're going to put in it. I mean, if you just tie a quick bow, you should be fine. And then trim the ends. And then that's your little elf box. Isn't that cute? And I'll fix my collar. I won't bore you with sitting here. And now we'll do the Santa one. Same thing, fold on your score lines, take your bone folder and just curl your ends up. Okay. And for this one, you can see he's kind of on the inside part where the elf was on the outside. I don't know if you can see that. Like this part looks like it's tucked under, and this part is on the like the curved part. So that is these with this part, the little handle in it. So I'm gonna work on it this way before assembling. And I used silver glitter paper or glimmer paper for his belt buckle. And I'm going to stick that just like that. And trim off these edges. Take these little buttons. Oh, that one's upside down. Oh well. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, so I'm going to put a button right here. And then the next one right here. And then we'll assemble. I was even thinking when I was making these, like they'd be cute little hanging ornaments, you know, if you wanted to just do a personalized thing on the tree, and then come Christmas, everybody gets a little special treat. They can find theirs on the tree. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I thought it was cute. I might. This year has been a world of, oh, who knows, things we didn't expect, experiences we've never had. So what I did was I tied the Believe on with this silver cording. And come on. Just like this. And then I took some, this was actually cherry cobbler baker's twine. So it's white with the cherry cobbler through it. I'm going to tie a bow. And then using a glue dot, I added it to my little tag here. And the Believe greeting is also from that Itty Bitty Christmas. And I cut it out with the oval that's included in the die set. And then that is this one, the little Santa. So what do you think? So cute. And then of course our cards. So if you've already ordered your to-go, thank you. I know I wasn't able to get everybody's theirs before we started today. I was a little bit behind with the holiday. And I've already spoken to you, so you guys know that you can just come back and watch the video and learn how to put this together. If you did want to order these and haven't, they are absolutely available, and it's $20 for the entire thing, so you'll get to make 2 of each card and 2 of each of the little treats for a total of 8 projects. So that is my live today. I want to thank you guys for joining me, and I think that's it. Have a great night, and hope to see you guys soon, even if it's a wave through a window. Have a good night. Bye.